My name's Andy Kelly. I am the Senior Manager of QC Microbiology, also currently acting as the QC head while Cheryl's supporting her QA activities. I'm also the ACO, the Asset Centric Organization Head for Supply Chain. So a little bit about QC Micro, what are we responsible for? So QC Micro runs the environmental monitoring program, so the EM program. We also are in charge of the microbial identification program, so identifying the species level some of the microbes that we might get back from different samples throughout our facility. We also are in charge of the aseptic processing screening. We run the site microbial control strategy, which is important in making sure we're keeping aseptic practices in every area. We also do sampling testing of all the utility systems. So clean steam, WFI, purified water, clean compressed gas. We also run the gowning validation program. So if somebody wants to or is required to enter our clean rooms, we want to make sure that they are practicing aseptic gowning practices. And so we sample them, make sure they're cleared to go in. We also last year took over management of the clean room cleaning program. So we have a group of contractors that clean all of our clean rooms, which is an incredibly important job. And so we provide oversight to that group. We also lead technical investigations, which actually is a big part of our job. We have some positions that are strictly focused on that. So any technical investigations related to environmental issues. We perform room qualification. So we're a growing site. We have lots of projects going on. We have new clean rooms in the works. And so to bring those up, to make those fit for manufacturing use, we have to qualify the area. So my team can go in and perform all the sampling, all the analysis of the data, and make sure that we're good to go there. And then also we own and we manage the MODA system. So some of you might be familiar with MODA. It's an advanced software platform that houses all of our EM data. So not only do we own it at the site level, but Lonza as a whole actually owns and markets MODA. So if you haven't seen that, I definitely encourage to check that out. But for me personally, coming into Lonza, I was so excited to use MODA. It makes the job in QC so much easier to pull that data out, allows us to analyze it. It provides us with charts and trends and graphs. Just makes our job a lot easier in QC Micro. So Micro touches on QC Micro touches on a lot of areas of business. I'd say almost every area of the site, and that's truly one of the parts of the job that I really cherish. Being able to interact with all these other groups. So on a typical day, you might see me meeting with manufacturing QA, going over our EM data for the previous month, and we're having these collaborative discussions. And how do we improve the data in the area? Is it increased cleaning? Do we have to change the way that we use the space? And then I might move on to talking about the need to expand our manufacturing capabilities and possibly build new clean rooms. So with that, I'm usually looking through the lens of aseptic processing or microbial control. So it's important again to keep that in mind with everything we do. I'm also very interested in technology in the lab. So, for instance, we recently acquired a MALDI system, which essentially is a mass spec instrument that allows us to get species information on any samples from around the site. So we're excited to have that in-house and have that efficiency. We're hoping to get that up and running very soon. And then, perhaps one of the most exciting things about my job, and I don't get to do it as much now as manager, but I still am involved, is investigations. I get to work with manufacturing, with QA, with MSAT, engineering, all these groups across the site, trying to solve a common problem and, identifying a root cause. And one of the most rewarding things to me is identifying that root cause, putting fixes into place, but then seeing the data after we put that fix in place. And that's, to me, a huge payoff. So about 6 years ago is when I started at Lonza. just before that, my prior job, I wasn't looking for a job, but a recruiter contacted me and talked about, potential position in Lonza Walkersville. And I was familiar with the site. I'd actually, with my previous job, came up to the site, did a site visit, and looked at some of the technology that Lonza had to offer. And I remember leaving that visit with just this awesome impression, not only of the technology, but mostly of the people. Kind of what Katie was talking about with that atmosphere, with the warm feeling. And so this recruiter contacted me, and part of me is saying, okay, well, this Lonza site, they were just nice to me because they wanted to sell me that equipment, and it's just a sales pitch. But I can honestly say, 6 years later, that it's no sales pitch. It's truly a family atmosphere at this place. And honestly, that's what keeps me here. That's what keeps me motivated. Every day I'm working with groups across the site, and you just get that sense that there's this team atmosphere, and we all have a common goal. And to me, that's what makes me really proud to say I work at Lonza. And also, I think Cheryl and Katie also touched on it, the opportunity. So I always tell, if I interview somebody that's, even if they're right out of college, I always say, look, there's so much opportunity. There's so many projects that we have going on. There's so many efforts going on that you can get involved in. All it takes is just raise your voice and say, I'm interested. That looks interesting to me. We don't have a lot of red tape. There's not a lot of people saying, no, you can't do that. That's how I thrive. And I feel that, somebody coming into the company that has that same passion, they will be rewarded. So with that being said, I'm on LinkedIn. Feel free to reach out and connect. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer them.